Good morning. I am Begoña Benito from Más Abogados. We are part of the TheGreefa Consortium. We are from Bilbao, Spain, and I'm very glad today to present you the social aspects and policies that has to do with the TheGreefa. Let's go there. So, taking into account the field of application and advantages offered by the technology proposed in the project, the policy recommendations must be based on the review of 5 fundamental areas: agriculture, energy, water, chemicals, and food safety. In this presentation, we are going to see the main strategic and regulatory documents in each of these areas at the European level, and then on that basis we will identify some policy recommendations which we believe that could facilitate the deployment of these proposed technologies. So, So, about the climate change and environmental degradation, well, taking into account that climate change and environmental degradation are an existential threat on Europe and even to the world, to overcome these challenges, the European Green Deal aims to transform the European Union into a modern, resource-efficient and competitive economy, ensuring then no net emissions of greenhouse gases by 2050. The economic growth decoupled from resource use, and no person and no place left behind, which is quite a very interesting goal for all of us. The Farm to Fork strategy is at the heart of the European Green Deal, aiming to make food system fair, healthy, and environmental friendly. It promotes a more sustainable food system, and it's among its main objectives to guarantee enough food and that is affordable and nutritious without exceeding the limits of the planet. An ambitious one. A proposal for a legislative framework for sustainable food systems will be put forward to support implementation of the strategy and development of a sustainable food policy. The Common Agricultural Policy 2023-2027 in force on January and approved plans that are designed to make a significant contribution to the ambitions of the European Green Deal, Farm to Fork strategy and biodiversity strategy, with the modernization of agriculture through the development of more sustainable agricultural practices while protecting nature and fighting climate change. That is the TheGreefa about. Among the tools that will further promote sustainable farming practices through European Union, this law includes conditionality which links area and animal-based payments to a range of obligations. In addition, it also introduced the new eco schemes that aim to reward farmers for going further in the implementation of sustainable agricultural practices. These practices could include the implementation of environmentally friendly production systems such as agroecology, agroforestry, and organic farming. The Rural Development Framework also includes environmental and climate change commitments, which aim to compensate farmers and other beneficiaries for voluntarily committing themselves to implement sustainable practices. So, about the European regulatory framework in energy. I will not extend so much, as I have already put the fundamental laws there, so you can check them up. So I will go just to the main points about these laws. So the ambition of the law is the energy efficiency and ensure an additional 11.7% reduction in energy consumption in 2030. So it gives then an energy efficiency first principle, a legal standing for the first time, so that it must considered by EU countries in all relevant policy and major investments decision taken in the energy and non-energy sectors. Indeed, the higher level of ambition requires stronger promotion of cost-effective energy efficiency measures in all areas of the energy system and in all relevant sectors where activity affects energy demands, such as agriculture. So, about the water regulatory framework. These frameworks recognize in the community that the pressure that is in the community from continuous growth in demand. It's necessary to achieve a further integration of protection and sustainable management of water into community policy areas, such as agriculture. Taking this into account, it promotes sustainable water use based on a long-term protection of available water resources. The hydrological planning process is crucial to achieve this goal, and it is based on the integrated planning of water resources management by basin or hydrographic districts. Member States shall ensure that the river basin management plan is produced for each river basin district lying entirely within their territory, and it must make the achievement of environmental objectives for the bodies of water and associated ecosystems compatible with attention to the demand for the different uses of water, both in sufficient quantity and quality. Let's go ahead. About the chemicals that are as well used in the TheGreefa. There are both very important regulations in Europe about the chemicals. One is the REACH and the other one is the CLP. So these regulations affect to all companies that use chemicals in the course of its industrial or professional activities, not only to the ones that produce or import chemicals. According to these regulations, magnesium chloride, which is the substance used in the TheGreefa, is a mixture not classified as hazardous, which is important. But we can identify the main obligations for the use of magnesium chloride in professional greenhouse farming. To only use the mixture in accordance with the risk control measures provided with the information received from the supply chain, and to ensure that workers have adequate information about the mixture. In conclusions, well, as we have been able to verify by the analysis that we have carried out, the proposed technology is closely aligned with the strategic recommendations and the regulations that governs the areas affected by the project. Nevertheless, we can identify following of policy recommendations to facilitate the deployment of the technology proposed by the project. First, To ensure that professionals dedicated to energy efficiency know the proposed technology and understand the advantages that it offers in terms of energy efficiency, and in line with the new directives about on energy efficiency. The adoption of the Commission of a delegate act in accordance with the regulation that sets a framework for energy labeling in river basin districts affected by drought incorporation by member states into the program of measures of the promotion of crops that require little water, and consideration of the proposed technology by the competent public authorities as a good agricultural practice deserving of a bonus in the economic and financial water regime. And very important, this other one, training of workers in the safe use of magnesium chloride. So that was all. Thank you so much for your attention, and the slides will be available if you want to see or have more information. Anyway, they are my contact email, so any issue that could arise, and maybe if I can help you, just don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you very much for your attention. Bye.